sometimes there is a time and place to tell the government no. To say what you are doing is inherently wrong, it is unnecessary, it may not be evil, but it is completely silly, and I refuse to obey. And so spank me or go away. And so, it's kind of amazing. What I love about Keene is I love watching you, Ian. You'll go in there and you'll have an open container of alcohol. I'm not bothering anybody. I'm not bothering or molesting anybody or harassing anybody, but I have an open container of alcohol. Go ahead and arrest me. And what really it shows that what the government cares about is not the open container of alcohol. They can't have people like you out there making fun of them, disobeying them flagrantly. So my idea—
They hate that.
Oh, yeah. When I was in Hawaii, my idea was to take an open container of alcohol. So our tour guide said, get a thing of Jack Daniels, go to Burger King, pour it in the cup, get some soda, walk along the beach, watch the sunset while drinking Jack and Coke. And I immediately pipe up, isn't that illegal? And he says, well, you don't tell the cops you're doing it. Yeah, it's illegal. And I thought, this is very interesting. The tour guide, all the reasonable, good people know that this law is silly, this open container law. And yet the cops, for them, I said, I'm going to get an open container. I'm going to have James hold a sign with an arrow pointing to me going, open container, please arrest me. And it's like, please don't do that. Please don't do that.
That's what the cops said.
You're going to destroy your record. And I'm like, well, I'm already retired. I don't care about my criminal record. We don't come to New Hampshire and do this to you. And we take care of people here. And I'm like, I didn't know how. Well, he said we take care of people here. And I'm like, you mean like we take care of people here, or we take care of people? Mahalo. Oh, we love you. And I didn't know how to really interpret that.
I think it's the former.
Yeah, but ultimately, what it is, it's not the container of alcohol that matters. It's somebody's making fun of the law and flagrantly disobeying them. And they can't have the public seeing somebody break the law so openly, so publicly, because then you're on a slippery slope, because then everyone might start disobeying that law.
Right, and then their power is hanging by a thread. They're essentially, to some extent, a paper tiger. Yes, they will lash out and hurt people, but if enough people were to disobey them, they would be unable to control it. And, of course, the perfect example of this, I think the classic Keene example of this. Keene is the place in New Hampshire. Please say the
420 smoking.
Yes. Keene is the place in New Hampshire where we're doing this show from right now. And, of course, we're all here because of the Free State Project, the idea of converging activists together so we can be more effective together. But the best example actually involved mostly locals, which was Rich Paul's 420 celebrations that were happening here. Now, Rich, he's on our Monday night show here on Free Talk Live. He is a great activist, libertarian, voluntarist, through and through. And he started these 420s that were happening publicly in Central Square in Keene in 2009. And he spread the word amongst the locals, because at the time he was selling weed in town.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people smoke weed. It's just most people have sense enough. Yes, it's kind of like being openly gay in the 1970s. If you are like a pot smoker, if you're a school teacher or a doctor or a lawyer or a real estate agent, anything with a government license, you would be crazy to admit that you smoke pot. Right. So, of course, it's just like there were a lot of gay people back in the 70s, but everyone had sense enough not to admit it. And it wasn't until a few people started saying, well, I'm gay and I really don't see anything wrong with it.
Right, when they stood up for themselves. And so that's what was going on a daily basis. Eventually, it grew to 100 and it was like over a week or two, it grew to 100 people in Central Square, which is a relatively small park. We're just talking about a small park in the middle of
and the whole idea was, hey, people smoke in public. They smoke their cigarettes or tobacco, or they drink their vodka martini on the public sidewalk in a nice restaurant.
But the thing is, the police tried to crack down. They came in and they did their classic thing of targeting who they thought was the leader.
Oopsie.
And they did that, and they went and they arrested Rich during one of these big ones with like 100 and something plus people.
And that was a mistake.
It was. But with anyone else, it might have worked, right? They have to try, because they have to protect their power. So they took Rich to the police station.
About half
About half of the group walked down there with signs and chanting.
They walked more with than just signs, Ian.
Well, there was a lot of weed too.
Yeah, they walked into the police station with
that was the second time. So the first day we went behind the police station, behind the no unauthorized access sign. Sat down in a large circle and passed around multiple joints over the period of about an hour while we waited for Rich to be released.
What was the one where they had their bongs and their joints? You were smoking in the middle of the police station lobby.
That was the next day.
Okay,
the police came back out the next day and made another arrest. of another one of the people they thought was the ringleader. And then again, another 50 people went back to the police station, this time going inside the police station lobby and successfully smoking cannabis inside the police station lobby
where there
without
was a no smoking
arrest.
sign.
That's right.
There was a no smoking sign in there, Ian.
In front of the agents. There were people there. It wasn't like they didn't know what was going on.
They sure wanted to pretend it wasn't going on.
That's right, yeah, because later on, that was the last arrest that happened. Later on, the police were saying, well, we've gotten reports of pot being smoked in Central Square, and we've walked through and we haven't smelled anything, so we're just calling this case closed, even though we were still smoking every day.